The Vatican City has a long and rich history that is surprisingly cool to learn about. The history of the Vatican City traces long back to the Romans. In this presentation, I will be discussing general information about the Vatican City, the history of the Vatican City, the culture of the Vatican City, and the citizens of the Vatican City. Get prepared to learn about the most epic and strange city-state in the world. Section 1. General Information. The Vatican City has some strange general information. It is only about 0.17 square miles in size. To give you an idea about how small that is, you can fit around 360 Vatican cities in Howell, New Jersey. Also, most people think that the Vatican City's official language is Latin. Well, yes, but actually no. The recognized languages of the Vatican City are Italian, French, German, and Latin. Although it recognizes all of these languages, Italian is the most widely spoken. Most people think of the leader of the Vatican City to be a pope. Well, yes, but actually no. The Vatican City does have a king. It is just that the king always happens to be the Pope. And if you ever wanted to know about the Vatican City's internet, the Vatican City has its own internet TDL, .va. There are a total of 36 websites using .va, but 2 of them don't work. Section 2. History. The Vatican City has a long history dating back to the Roman Empire. It was originally under control of the Roman Empire and was one of the villas in the area. The land was originally a swampland that was infested with mosquitoes. Catigula and Nero, which were Roman emperors, took the time to drain the land. Once it was drained, they built an epic circus. The circus actually wasn't really that epic, but the architect was. Why wasn't it epic? Well, they used it to torture and kill Christians. After the circus came, the basilica came, which was a massive structure. It was originally built in 324 AD, and Pope Julius made massive restorations to it 1,100 years later. The Vatican was part of the Papal States, which were a group of states that, at the time, up until the late 1700s. This is when Italy conquered them, but Pope Pius IX refused to allow Italy to conquer the Vatican. Instead of declaring war, Italy just decided it would wait out, since they thought the Vatican would just give up, since they had guards outside of the Vatican at all times. But the Vatican went through 5 popes, which is actually a lot of popes, before Benito Mussolini decided that he would just let them keep the Vatican. Only if they saw Italy as a real place, because up until this time they thought Italy wasn't real, and also if they did not join into war. Section 3. Citizens. The Vatican City's population contains about 72% clergy, which are religious people, and 28% lay people, which are non-ordained people of the Catholic Church. The Vatican is an extremely small city-state with only around 450 citizens. Out of the 450 citizens, only around 30 were Roman, as recorded in 2013. The Vatican City has some statistical oddities when it comes down to citizens, some of which include the fact that the crime per capita of the Vatican City is extremely high because of the lack of the people. Most crimes are petty crimes from tourists. The Pope's per square mile statistic is actually larger than 1 because the Vatican City is smaller than a square mile, although it only has 1 per Pope. It is also the city-state leading in wine consumption per capita. Section 4. Culture. The Vatican City has some epic architect from the Renaissance. The basilica that I mentioned before is an example of the architect. It also contains some art for popular painters like Bramante, Michelangelo, Giacomo della Porta, Maderno, and Bernini. Other than the basilica, it has 2 buildings important to the history of the Vatican City, the Vatican Museum and the Vatican Library. The Vatican Museum contains a lot of art from the Renaissance. It has over 70,000 works of art, and 20,000 of which are on display. The Vatican Library has over 75,000 codices. A codex, which is the plural of it is codices, is basically a really old handwritten book. On top of the 75,000 codices, the library also contains around 1.1 million printed books. For such a small city-state, it has a lot of culture and art. As you can see, the Vatican City has a strange past. Without my presentation, there's a good chance you would never know the most important information in the world. Information about the Vatican City. Hope you learned a lot about the history, culture, citizens, and general information. So next time someone asks you about the Vatican City, you can give them a correct answer.